friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be telling you the 10 top women in the Bible. I'm telling you this because there is not much woman mentioned in the Bible. So I wanted to get all the special ones from the Bible and share them out right now. 10 of them. So let's start. So the first woman, can you guess which? First woman, a very special woman. In fact, it's a very special woman for this season right now. Can you guess? Let me give you a clue. It's something to do with Christmas. Mary! Mary is the first woman. She is the number one. And I think she should be the number one because she was the mother of Jesus. And being the mother of Jesus is amazing and has to be the top one. That's a very special opportunity she got from God. And that's just amazing. The story is from Mary is that Joseph had to be counted. So he had to go to his hometown, Bethlehem. So they traveled and they were so tired and they needed a place to stay. So they knocked on the doors and there was nowhere for them to stay. And it ended up for them to go to a stable. And there was Jesus, Savior, born right there. That was a very amazing story. I love that story. The next person is Ruth. Now Ruth stayed with her mother-in-law and followed God for all her days, believing that he would provide for her. So the story here is where Ruth, her husband died. So she decided to stay with her mother-in-law. But she said, "Oh, you should go to your family." But she refused. So they couldn't work. So there was this field belonging to Boaz. And they decided to collect his wheat after what he dropped. And he realized that she was doing this and decided to all his friends to leave lots of it. And then they somehow they married and it was a very happy ending and she believed that God would provide for her. Now that's a very nice story. The next story is from Mary. Not the Mary we just heard, but Mary Magdalene. So this story is after being healed by Jesus and she traveled with him. The story behind her story is when there was people who didn't really like her and she was sick. And when Jesus healed her, she became so positive in her life and she felt so amazing with Jesus and she traveled with him. All his adventures from his I forgot the word. From dying on the cross and his resurrection. And when he had to go to heaven, she knew that he would go to heaven and had to say goodbye. But she always loved him, even though he went to heaven. She knew that he loved him and he was in her heart. That's a very, very faithful woman. The next woman is Rachel. And Rachel, her father tricked Jacob from marrying Leah, her sister. And soon Jacob had to work to marry Rachel. And they had two sons, Joseph and Benjamin. So here is where Jacob had tricked his father from getting his what was it called? Something that big brothers got. And it was like an offering or something. An anointing or something. And his brother was so angry that he got it when his brother had to get it. So he wanted to kill him. So his mother said that he should go away and go to his go and live with his cousin or to Rachel's home. So he went there and he fell in love with Rachel. So he asked asked Rachel's father if they can marry her, and he said that you have to work for 7 years before marrying my daughter. So he worked there for 7 years, and when the marriage, they had the wedding, and after that, he realized that he married Leah, and he asked, why did you trick me? And he said that I wanted my oldest daughter to get married first before my youngest. So he had to work another 7 years before marrying Rachel, and then soon they got children. The next story is Hannah. Hannah prayed for a son, and she was promised that she would get dedicated to his life. She promised her son that he would dedicate her life to God, his life to God. So soon God answered her and had a son and called Samuel. Here is where though her father had two daughters and her sister and Hannah couldn't have any children, and she cried and prayed and asked God, why can't I have any children? I know I'd be a very amazing mother. And she prayed and cried, and then she soon said that she promised that her child would be dedicated to his life to God. And that's when God answered her and gave her a son called Samuel. The next person is, if I give you this clue, can you guess? She was one of the first women in the creation of God. She sinned. She did the first sin with Adam and a snake, or a serpent. I kind of call it a snake, but yeah. Can you guys guess? Eve. So the sixth person out of these 10 people 10 women is Eve, and Eve was the first woman, and she was a very happy woman, and she was minding her own business in the beautiful garden of Eden, and she saw this little animal, and it was talking to her. How did that happen? She was wondering, why is he talking to her? And the animal said that if the only rule on that tree, there was this tree, and this fruit, no one's allowed to eat. It was the only rule, the one rule. And that serpent said that this tree is the tree of knowledge, and he said he tricked her by saying that if you eat from this tree, you will become as powerful as God. And the serpent tricked her really well, and she ate from the fruit. And Adam came past, and she was like, "What are you doing?" And she gave the fruit to Adam, and Adam took a bite. Together they finished the fruit, and then God came soon after. Firstly, they felt really strange, like, oh, what happened? What's happening? And started getting worried because they had these weird feelings, like, they never had before. And God was coming, and they felt like they were too naked, so they got some leaves and stuff like that, and they started hiding. And God came to them, Adam, Eve, where are you? And they said, we're naked. And then he said, how do you know that? And they said, I don't know. They were kind of worried. And then Adam said, Eve ate from that tree, gave me some fruit from God said to them, have you ate from the fruit? And he said, Adam just blamed it on Eve, and Eve blamed it on the serpent, and they all got a punishment. And that was the first sin. And that was a very, very interesting story. But it's kind of cool how they realized they had like a beautiful garden to play in, and it just turned out it was really high. It actually stayed high, and then it just went down. I bet the life when some mountains a bit, and eventually Eve got 2 sons, Cain and Abel, and their sons went into a little bit of trouble. But that's not about Eve. I'll tell you guys maybe some later stories. So the next woman in the Bible is Deborah. She was the only female judge mentioned in the Bible. I really don't know much about Deborah, but she saved some people, I think. I just say that her stories are similar to Esther, I think. So the next person is Esther. And I actually know quite a lot from Esther. She saved the Jews from this evil person. I think it was the king or something. No. She showed great courage by telling the king about the plan and was so brave. The brave and beautiful queen, people say. Now, the 9th person that I got is called Maria. I don't know. And this person, you might not know, or you will know, is. Should I give you a clue? Okay. This person watched her little brother, going through the river Nile. And do you know which brother went through the river Nile and saw a princess and was taken care of by the princess? Moses' sister. And Moses' sister is very she likes to care for stuff like her brother. She was really worried, and when the princess saw this little boy, she went to go and tell the princess, should we have a doctor to a nurse or someone to care for him? And they said, yeah, well, sure, who? And they were like, I know someone who can care for him. And it was actually Moses' mother. So Moses' mother actually got to care for her own son. So I think that's a really lucky. And it's thankful that her daughter even did that. I don't think they'll be seeing Moses for quite a long time. And that's how Moses got to know the Bible. Because I wonder who would train Moses if she wasn't there in the river Nile watching her. Now this one is a very, very faithful person. I actually like this person. And for the 10th person, this person is... Should I give you a clue? Now, let's go far. I think it's from all this, you take out all this, maybe not Eve. Eve was the first woman, so not just Eve, So she was one of the, second woman I mentioned, that is mentioned in the Bible, that I actually know. So this woman she was 90 when she got her son, and her husband was 100. And they had a son, and they named him Isaac. And this woman is called Sarah. Sarah and Abraham prayed for a child because they couldn't have a child. So they prayed and prayed. This is a bit like Hannah's story. And they prayed and prayed, and God answered them. And they had the child, and it made Sarah laugh. So they called him Isaac. And Isaac means and he likes to laugh. But God wanted to test Abraham. So he said that I would like your son to be a sacrifice. Oh no, I keep on forgetting. But a sacrifice, yes, a sacrifice. So he told Isaac to get some, I think it was the wood, and they went up into the mountain. Up. And Abraham was kind of worried. He didn't know what God was meaning, but he had to do it because God did give the son, and he will do anything to give him back. So they went up a mountain. I don't know if they did or not. Anyways, they went up, and went to put down Isaac and said that everything is okay. He's doing it all for God. And yeah, he was about to, and it was a very worrying. And then he had a voice saying, "Stop, Abraham, stop." And God said that it was just a test. And there was a sheep or a goat stuck in a bush, stuck by his horns, and that's what you could sacrifice instead. So he got Isaac out and tied up the goat, and they sacrificed him. What a lovely story. I like the story of Abraham and Sarah and Isaac. They're a very lucky family. So I hope you enjoyed all the stories, and every single woman. Tell me which woman is your favorite out of all these 10 top women. I think I like maybe Hannah, and maybe Queen Esther, Mary, Sarah. I have lots, so it might be all of them. So hopefully you're having a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. Have a very great year. Bye!